bon. Non, mais...
On va aérer un peu, non?
Ouais, vas-y. Attends, vas-y, je vais le faire. Vas-y, je vais le
You can play me now?
How many can do, Prabhu?
Up to 8. Chapter 24. Verse 47.
47.
Yeah.
24, 47.
Merci. Jayura Srimad bhagavatam ki jai. Krishna Sara Vaishnava Sangha ki jai. Bora Hari. So we read from Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th canto, chapter 24, Matsya, the Lord's fish incarnation, and verse 47. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Namaskritya Naram Cheva Naram Cheva Narotam
Naram Chaiva Narotam.
Devim Sarasvati Vyasa
Devim Sarasvatim Vyasam.
Tato Jaya Mudiraye
Tato Jaya Mudiraye.
Nashtapaishu Avadreshu
Nashtapraishu Avadreshu.
Nityam Bhagavate Sevaya
Nityam Bhagavate Sevaya.
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke
Bhagavate Uttama Shloke.
Bhakti Bhavati Naishtiki
Bhaktir Bhagavate Naistiki.
Jano Buddho Yamnija Karma Bandhana
Jana Buddhayam Nija Karma Bandhana.
Sukhe Chaya Karma Samihate Sukham
Sukhe Saya Karma Samiyate Ashukam.
Yate Vayakam Hi vidunoti hasambhati.
Yat sevaya tam vidunatya samyatim.
Granti sabindaya hridayam sano guru.
Grantim sabindat hridayam sano guru.
Jano budoyam nija karma bandhana.
Jano budahayam nija karma bandhana.
Sukhe chaya karma samihate sukham.
Sukhe saya karma samyate sukham.
Yate vayatam vidunati hasamatim.
Yat sevaya tam vidunatya samyatim.
Grantim sabinyatri dayam sano guru.
Grantim sabindat hridayam sano guru.
Jano budoyam nija karma bandhana.
Jano budahayam nija karma bandhana.
Sukhe chaya karma samihate sukham.
Sukhe saya karma samihate sukham.
Yate vayatam vidunati hasamatim.
Yat sevaya tam vidunatya samyatim.
Grantim sabinyatri dayam sano guru.
Granthim sabindat hridayam sano guru.
Jano budoyam nija karma bandhana.
Jano budahayam nija karma bandhana.
Sukhe chaya karma samihate sukham.
Sukhe saya karma samyate sukham.
Yate vayatam vidunati hasamatim.
Yat sevaya tam vidunatya samyatim.
Grantim sabinyatri dayam sano guru.
Granthim sabindat hridayam sano guru.
Okay, you can chant.
Jano budahayam nija karma bandhana.
Jano budoyam nija karma bandhana.
Sukhe saya karma samihate sukham.
Sukhe chaya karma samite sukham.
Yat sevaya tam vidunatya samyatim. Yat sevaya tam vidunatya samyatim. Grantim sabindat hridayam sano guru.
Grantim
Sabindat hridayam sano guru.
Someone else want to try? No? Okay. Let's see. Yeah.
Jano budoyam nija karma bandhana.
Jano budayam nija karma bandhanam.
Sukhe chaya karma samiyate sukham.
Sukhe saya karma samahita sukham.
Yat sevaya tam vidunatya samyatim.
Yat sevaya tam vidunati samyatim.
Grantim sabindyat hridayam sano guru.
Grantim sabindyat hridayam sano guru.
Translation word for word. Jana, be happy within this matter world.
Desiring to be happy within this material world.
Karma,
Happy within this material world.
karma,
Karma,
fruitive activities.
fruitive activity.
Samihate,
Samihate,
plans.
plans.
Asukam,
Asukam,
but it is for distress only.
but it is for distress only.
Yat sevaya,
Yat sevaya,
by rendering service unto one.
by rendering service unto whom?
Tam,
Tam,
the entanglement of karma.
the entanglement of karma.
Vidunati,
Vidunati,
clears.
clear up,
Clears up.
clears up.
Asatmatim,
Asatmatim,
the unclean mentality,
the unclean mentality,
accepting the body as a self.
accepting the body as the self.
Grantim,
Grantim,
art not.
art not.
Sa
Sa,
is the Lordship, the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
His Lordship, the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Bindyat,
Dindyat,
being cut off.
being cut off.
Hridayam,
Hridayam,
in the core of the heart.
in the core of the heart.
Sa
Sa
is the Lord.
is the Lord.
Na,
Na
our
our
Guru,
Guru,
the supreme spiritual master.
the supreme spiritual master.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai.
In hope for becoming happy in this material world, the foolish conditional soul perform fruitive activities that result only in suffering. But by rendering service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one becomes free from such false desire for happiness. May my Supreme Spiritual Master cut the knot of false desire from the core of my heart. Can be a nice prayer to offer to our Spiritual Master, actually, this verse, to meditate when we see our Spiritual Master. It's really nice. It's really describing how we should approach the Spiritual Master. So, purport. For material happiness, the conditioned soul involves himself in fruitive activities which actually put him into material distress. Because the conditioned soul does not know this, he is said to be in avidya, or ignorance. Because of a false hope for happiness, the conditioned soul become involved in various plans for material activities. Here, Maharaj Satyavrata prayed that the Lord sever these are not of false happiness, and thus become his supreme spiritual master. Om Gyanatimidasya Gyananjara Sharakaya Chakshunmitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamaram Shri Guru Vaishnavam Sham Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sadhyam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Saganarita Shri Vishakanvitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopishna Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Ramani Hari Priye Panchakalpataru Vyacha Kripa Sindhu Vyahevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Prashadine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashkatya Deshatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. I read again the verse. In hope of becoming happy in this material world, the foolish conditioned soul perform fruitive activities that result only in suffering. But by rendering service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one becomes free from such false desire for happiness. May my Supreme Spiritual Master cut the knot of false desire from the core of my heart. So this is Satyavrata, Maharaj Satyavrata who is speaking. He is the king, and we remember the story how he was bewildered by this small fish So in material world, even if we do perfectly our duty according to Vanashram and Dharma, and Vanashram, Vanashrama, Vana and Ashram, we will be bewildered at one point, because without bewilderment, we cannot surrender to the Lord. We have to at one point become bewildered. And we see in all Srimad Bhagavatam, at any time we see this tendency of perfect living entities who become bewildered. And maybe they are bewildered by Yoga Maya. This means the internal potency of the Lord. And we are more bewildered by Yoga Maya than Mahamaya, than Yoga Maya. And this is the difference between them and us. But they teach us how to surrender to the Lord. And we see, for example, Arjuna at the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, the war of Kurukshetra. He was totally bewildered, but he was trying his best for the good of all living entity around him. He didn't want to fight. He wanted to not kill his family member, his superior, his teacher, all this living entity. So it was all coming from a good feeling, a feeling that we will say it's very good to serve the Lord. But Krishna chastised him. He said, "What foolish man are you by saying this? You are speaking like a learned man, but you don't know anything about the truth. Because the truth is not established according to be a good person on the material platform. It's to be established in a good person on the platform of the spiritual soul." And Arjuna didn't want to fight. We know all this story. And at one point, he said, "Karpanya doshopata svabhaha prichami tvam dharma samada cheta." So this means his mind become disturbed and he don't know what to do. So in the same way, we should not be afraid at one point to be lost when we try to come to Krishna consciousness. We will be lost at one point before we accept this Shishastiham Shadimam Svam Papanam. So after he say, "I'm surrendering fully to you," I'm speaking maybe learned word from the Dharma Shastra, I'm speaking like a good person, but even by this I'm totally lost in this material world. And we can make the comparison with Maharaj Satyavrata. His attitude was to protect all the citizens, even the fish in the water. So he did all this for trying to protect this small fish and he giving a good situation for living. But the fish was becoming bigger and bigger and bigger, and he could not find, and at one point he said, "Okay, you are the Lord, I can only surrender, I'm bewildered by your activities." So in the same way, we will be bewildered by the activity of the Lord. And when we try to surrender to the Lord, we will be bewildered. But what are the qualities of Maharaj Satyavrata in this pastime? Do you think about one thing that he did that we can glorify his quality?
His duty.
He did his duty like a kshatriya, but even by doing this, he was bewildered by the Lord. So after the Lord said him what to do, and Maharaj Satyavrata did everything that the Lord said. He said, "In the future there will be an inundation," and he said, "Everything that will happen, a boat will appear, take all the sage, saintly person, take the herbs, take the vasuki like a rope, and you attach on my horn, and I will draw you in this inundation." So he did exactly everything that the Lord asked. And this is his great quality. Before it was like he was doing his duty according to Varna and Ashram. But after he did more than that, he did whatever the Lord said him. What you would think if someone said you what Matsya said to Maharaj Satyavrata? What will be your show? If someone come to you and say, in 3 years there will be an inundation, but don't worry, a boat will come to you and there will be a big serpent you will attach to the horn to a fish, and this fish will draw you out of this inundation. What you will think in your mind? Personally, I will call the psychiatric hospital and say, hello, I have someone very crazy in front of me, please, can you come to take him? So, this is the quality of Satyavrata. He can understand how the Lord can be transcendental to everything that the mind can conceive. The mind cannot conceive a boat appearing like this, and a big serpent, and a fish, and you attach the serpent on the fish. And if we just take it on the platform of the mind and the intellect, we will say, this is mythology. This is crazy. I don't accept this. So we can understand this pastime only with our heart and only with an attitude of surrendering into the Lord. Only the Lord can give us the intelligence to understand this pastime. And Dadami Buddhiga Gamtam
Yanumamu
Namam Upayantite.
Yanamam Upayantite.
On se passe au début, Tesham.
Okay. When you surrender to me, the Lord, I will give you the intelligence in a way that you can come to me. So Krishna will give us the intelligence, but the first condition is to surrender. And Lord Chaitanya made it even more simple than surrender. He said just chant, just take prasadam. So at the beginning we will be attracted by this easy process, but we have to understand that this easy process, the goal is to come to surrendering and to the wish of the Lord, not just chant and hit. We have to surrender unto the wish of the Lord.
You have to go, you have some service.
Sure, this is the wish of the Lord. You have to go. So, if we have service, we have to go. It's better to do what Krishna wants than just to listen it and no, we have to surrender. And we see in all the Bhagavad Gita there is a few steps before coming to Sarva Dhamman Palichada Mekam Sharanam Raja. Because we are not qualified to surrender and fully unto the Lord. And this 8th canto come after all this pastime of Srimad Bhagavatam. And all this pastime can help us to understand that Krishna is the Lord, that we are his servant, and that we have to surrender. And not just with the intelligence, but with our heart. It means we take the Lord in our heart and we fully surrender to him. But before that, we pass from this tendency of material desire. So I will take again the verse and try to look it step by step, because it's a very nice verse. I said, for approaching a spiritual master, it's very nice to be inspired by this attitude of eternal pure devotee. So the first thing, in hope of becoming happy in this material world. Who don't want to become happy? Everyone is looking for happiness in this material world. But we are all looking in a place where there is no happiness. Like it is said, the comparison is given, like if you are looking for water in a desert. Prabhupada always gives this analogy. It's also given in Srimad Bhagavatam. You can see, you can have the illusion that there is some water. Shri Shri Jagannath Subhadra Ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Parisisvara Ki Jai. So you can, even in desert, you can have the illusion to see some water. And this illusion, where it comes from, it's because water exists. So in the same way, if we have the illusion that we want happiness in this material world, is because real happiness exists, but not in the desert, not in this material world. So this is the cause actually of staying in this material world, is that I hope to be happy. And we will make so much arrangement, so much plan after this, what say. The foolish common soul perform fruitive activities. So I do that, like this, I will be happy. I go to work, to the industry, to my job, like this, after I can take some holidays and go to the beach and forget all my problems. But when the holidays are finished, go back to the work, problem are still here. So this is not a solution. This fruitive activity, I work, I do this, forgetting this, it's always an illusion. Why? Because it's a projection, it's an activity of the mind. And the mind is the cause of our wandering in this material world. We are projecting ourselves. I do that, like this, I will be happy. And it's really difficult to come out of this, because we are, since life and life after life, we have this attitude to do something, forgetting something. And this is not what it should do. Because this, the result is only suffering. But after, so Maharaj Satyavrata said, but by rendering service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one becomes free from such false desire for happiness. So the tendency of serving the Lord, serving the spiritual master, is become free of this tendency to opt for happiness in this material world, to try to project for something which will make us happy. We know that there is no happiness in this material world. Dukalayam ashashvatam. This is how Krishna described to Arjuna. Dukalayam, suffering, ashashvatam, temporary. It's true, this body, what is giving us this body? Pain, and what will finish by? Dying. So there is no happiness. And the Prabhupada explained that the pleasure, the tendency for pleasure, is just that you forget that you suffer. In this world, when you think you take pleasure, is that you forget your suffering. This is how Prabhupada explained about pleasure. So this is not a solution, because the suffering is there. So what we should first realize is that we suffer in this material world. So first step, and this is what, thank you, this is what the Arjuna realized, this is what Satyavrata Maharaj realized also, this is what Parikshit Maharaj realized, all of them. So if we want to become a pure soul, a pure devotee, this is not that we will stop all the suffering. It will come later, but the first thing is that we have to realize that this is a suffering, and that we should not look for happiness in this material world. We should look happiness for the spiritual world, this Ananda Mayobhya Sat. And this spiritual world can be experimented even here. Prabhupada was calling this temple Vaikuntha. So even if we didn't realize, we are now in Vaikuntha. And this is just a question of time. because we have to come to establish ourselves in the pure goodness to realize this. And by this establishment in pure goodness, tada rajas tamo bhava, kamo labadayas chaye, chitaitana vitans titans sadve prasidati. Sutta Goswami explained, we become free of rajas and tamas. And by being free of rajas and tamas, we become free of lust and anchoring. And this is the cause of the suffering at the beginning. And how to come to this is by being fully engaged in devotional service. This is not by just meditating. This is not just by saying, sitting and meditating. No, we have to be active in Krishna consciousness. Krishna asked to Arjuna, fight. Arjuna wanted to go to meditate in the forest. Krishna asked him, fight now. So in the same way, we cannot become happy in Krishna consciousness just by sitting and meditating. And Prabhupada used to say, don't play to be an Haridas Thakur. You will be just a dog. So better you become like a sweeper in front of the Ratha Yatra during Jagannath Puri festival. And this is, it's better to be active in Krishna consciousness. Otherwise we cannot really become free of this tendency for lust and anchoring. And we see with the example of Satyavrata Maharaj, he is active in his service to this fish. He is doing everything that the Lord asked him. And how this temple become Vaikuntha is because we follow the Vedic culture of worshipping the Lord. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna also explained to Arjuna how to become free of this karma bandhana. He said, Yagnatat karmano yatra lokoyam karma bandhana. Everyone is bound by action. But tadartam karma kunteya mukta sangha samachare. By acting according to Vedic instruction, you can become mukta, liberated. So this temple become Vaikuntha because we are worshipping the Lord here. In material world, we are worshipping Durga. We are worshipping this material nature. We are worshipping Maya. And all these living entity you see in the street, they are making so much plan by worshipping this Maya. They don't know anything. They think, I will be happy. That's all they think. And by this thinking, I will be happy, actually, the happiness is bigger in the time when you think you will be happy than when you get the thing. This is very famous. I remember when I was a young boy, every time asking to my parents, please give me that, and the mind is happy. Okay, I will get that. I will get this Game Boy. Woohoo! And when you get the Game Boy, I'm tired with this Game Boy now. So this is how this material world is just a cheating. We are cheated by this Maya. And now our duty, when we get this knowledge from Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, is to realize, okay, now my Lord, like he's saying in this verse, I was thinking I will be happy by this plan making and by working to get this. I realized that I was only suffering. So now, please give me service. My Lord, give me service. Send me your representative, my spiritual master, who helped me to connect with you. And he will give me some activity to surrender unto the wish of the Lord. And by doing this, the Lord will help us. And our real qualification, Prabhupada used to say, is the sincerity of our desire. We cannot take out the tendency for desiring. We cannot become without mind, without senses, without desire, but we have to learn how to desire for the Lord. And the spiritual master is here to teach us how to desire for the pleasure of the Lord. And he will engage us in so many activities to please the Lord. Maybe at the beginning we want to please directly the Lord, but the spiritual master will also teach us that the Lord can be pleased only by pleasing his devotees and by trying to help others to be in Krishna consciousness. And this is why the spiritual master come and give us this instruction to serve the Lord and try to bring others to serve the Lord. This is the most pleasing for Krishna. Krishna said, the devotee is the most dearest to me, is this one who teach the teaching of Bhagavad Gita to the devotee. So the most pleasant for Krishna is that we go and try to bring others to get out of this plan making, to get out of this pseudo happiness. I will be happy, and try to bring them to this consciousness to be eternally happy in the service of the Lord. And actually to try to do this effort to bring others to Krishna, this is the wish of Radharani. This is the internal potency. Internal potency work like this. The external potency work to forget Krishna. It's the internal potency work for bringing us to Krishna. Radharani only wish is the happiness of Krishna, and this wish will be fulfilled by bringing others to serve the Krishna. So to serve Radha and Krishna is to serve devotee to come closer and closer with Krishna. And this is how we can get this full happiness. This full happiness can be given only by this internal potency of the Lord. And whatever what we do, we can be a worker, we can be a Babaji, we can be whatever. We have to do what is according to our nature. But in this mood, I want to bring others to Krishna. And you can be a very good worker outside and be a pure devotee. If your meditation is how I can bring others to Krishna. You are in the street of Paris, where the lust is highest maybe in this world, but you are not affected by this lust. You want only the pleasure of Krishna. And this is how the Guru is meditating constantly. And this how Gauranga is meditating constantly. This is how Nityananda is meditating constantly. Nityananda always takes the position of serving Gauranga. And Gauranga's wish is to bring others to Krishna. So when we approach spiritual master and get mercy of Nityananda, it means we want to serve our spiritual master to bring others to Krishna. And this is Radha Krishna combined. This is Lord Chaitanya in this incarnation in Kali Yoga. So this pastime can help us to, and this verse from Satyarata Maharaj can help us to become free of this false desire for happiness and be fully engaged in this transcendental meditation. How can I bring others to Krishna? And this will please the spiritual master and will cut the knot of false desire from the core of our heart. So I will just finish by reading the verse again. in hope for becoming happy in this material world, the foolish consciousness soul perform fruitive activities that result only in suffering. But by rendering service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one becomes free from such false desire for happiness. May my spiritual master cut the knot of false desire from the core of my heart. So would you like to share something with this verse and this topic of false happiness in this material world? We heard of a little bit of this realization, and maybe you can share something. You are fully satisfied already.
Yes, you nicely explain how to do like this. Very nice.
It is also interesting that we shouldn't. We should come to this state of consciousness without any material desire. But maybe this is not our state of consciousness when we join this movement. And the example is always given is Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj come to the Lord with a wish, I want a bigger kingdom than my father, because he was angry with his father. So maybe we come for some desire like this, some anger, because I don't know, our parents didn't give us what we wanted, or actually what the father didn't get to Dhruva Maharaj is attention. And what gives us happiness actually is not the material thing, but this is attention. And Dhruva Maharaj was unsatisfied because he didn't get the love, the emotion from his father. In the same way, we are frustrated in this material world when we not get the love of, we don't feel the love of the Lord with us. And so sometimes at the beginning we can come with anger, like Dhruva Maharaj angry with his father. And we can be angry against the Lord, maybe because we think the Lord don't love me, he don't give me happiness in this material world, he don't love me. Many people think like this. How do you have faith with the Lord with a suffering material world like this? They ask. And this is the love of the Lord for us, to help us that we not get happiness in this material world. So Dhruva Maharaj go to the forest and follow the instruction of Narada Muni. And this is his qualification. Again and again. Our only qualification is follow instruction of spiritual master. This is our only wish in this material world. There is no other wish. No other hope, sorry. And we follow instruction of spiritual master, and we will have darshan of Vishnu form in our heart, who guide us, who try to guide us in this material world. Like all these Lila Avatar or Matsya and different incarnations, they are Vishnu Tattva, they are incarnation of Vishnu. And Satya Maharaj, Satya Vrata, or Dhruva Maharaj, what happened? They get the darshan of Vishnu Tattva, the incarnation of the Lord. And when they get this vision, all the desire, they go away. Like Dhruva Maharaj, when the Lord appeared in front of him, he said, I came for some broken piece of glass, and now I don't want anymore, I'm fully satisfied to see you. So in the same way, we follow instruction of spiritual master. Spiritual master is happy. When spiritual master is happy, the Lord is happy. Lord happy, come and give us darshan. And this darshan will make us forget all our illusion of happiness in this matter, all this desire. And at this point, we fully surrender to the Lord. And this is very interesting because we come like to the 8th canto, 9th canto, and after 10th canto, and we see now is we come to this realization with Vamanadev, Matsya, that we should come to the Atma Nivedanam, full surrendering. It's not a question of a little bit, I surrender this and I keep this. Now we are in the part of Srimad Bhagavatam with Atma Nivedanam, the full surrendering and to the wish of the Lord. This is why it can be a little bit bewildering if we are not ready to accept it, but we have to know also what we should opt for, to fully surrender to the Lord. And after, there's no difficulty. The difficulty is before. After, no difficulty. This is why Prabhupada said, what is the difficulty? What is the difficulty? Okay, see if there is no question or comment, I will stop here. Thank you very much for your attention. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Marsh Satyavrata ki jai, Gora Premanandi Hare Hare.